In the last class, we were discussing about DD path. So, yes, students, today before I start with my regular class, today I want to discuss case study and innovative question. You know about case study and innovative question. In every test you will get those case study and innovative questions are compulsory questions. So, you know here in testing, so you know that innovative question in each students will write the answers innovatively. Say for example, like for first test I gave you innovative questions on I gave you question on write a test cases. I gave a scenario. For that scenario, based on the scenario, you have to write a different test cases, and each students will write a different test cases. Whereas in the case study question, a particular case will be given. A particular case will be given. On that particular case, you do a study, and based on the particular case, whatever the questions we give, so you will answer for those questions. Yes, you don't have any doubt about case study and innovative questions, no, students? So now for you, you have for your second internals, the syllabus is till yes, students, in this week and in Monday's class, till Monday's class, whatever the topics I cover till Monday. No, not tomorrow. I have class. No, yes, tomorrow I have first hour class. So till tomorrow, whatever the topics I cover, that will be there for your test. Students, till tomorrow, whatever the topics I covered, that will be there for your syllabus. For your syllabus, you have boundary value analysis, and for your syllabus, you have boundary value analysis and equivalence test and path, also decision path you have for your syllabus. So in that only I may give you any innovative questions like write a boundary value for already you have studied the boundary value of next day problem, boundary value of triangle problem. Yes, students, do you have any doubt in that? Anybody have doubt in that boundary value of triangle problem, boundary value of next day problem? ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? Please respond if anybody have doubt. So similarly, I may ask you, I may give you one scenario. So based on the scenario or based on the problem, I may ask you to write the boundary value. Write the boundary value. I may give you some ongoing projects or some live project. In that project, I may ask you based on a particular function, for a particular function, what are the boundary values? Yes, I gave you for last internals what boundary value you have. Most of the students, you have written a test case for this what election eligibility you have taken. So their boundary value, what you have taken, the age, minimum age is 18 years and maximum is 56 years, that you have taken. So similarly, I may give you some other scenario, and based on that scenario, you may have to write the boundary value. Or I may give you one program. It may be a simple interest program. It may be a simple interest program or complex numbers or any other menu driven program. So for that program, you have to draw a chart. You have to draw a diagram. So I see students, if I give you specifically, you have to write a answer for this specific question for specific for simple interest. If you have to draw a diagram, directed graph diagram, then that will become a case study question. If I give you some scenario, in that scenario, you make a choice, or based on the scenario, I may ask you question how innovatively you can draw a directed graph for this particular problem statement. So like that, I may ask you a innovative question. Yes, any doubt in the innovative question, students? If you have any doubt in the innovative question, please ask now only. See, I repeat once again. I repeat once again. We have a boundary value analysis. We have studied what is boundary value analysis. I'll share my screen. The students, is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, students, in boundary value, we have seen, see, this is a simple example. In this example, A and B values, A and B is a boundary for the value of X should be lies between A and B, and the value of X2 should lies between C and D. Similarly, in triangle problem and in next day problem, we have seen, if you take next day problem, if you take a boundary value of a day, the boundary value of day is 1 to 31. Correct, no? If you take a boundary value of a year, then 1 to 12. That is a boundary value. If you take a boundary value for an hour, then 1 to 24. So maximum number of hour in a day will be 24 hours. So these are all the boundary values. So similarly, I may ask you a question like, I may ask you a sales problem. I may ask you some sales problem. In that sales problem, I'll give a scenario. So assume that there are 3 salespersons are there. 3 salespersons are there. For each person, I am allotting a incentive based on the sale. I am giving them a incentive. See, the minimum they have to sell 10 products. Assume that I have taken example for a refrigerator. Minimum per month they have to sell 10 refrigerator, and if they are selling extra 5, then they have some amount of incentive. So here the minimum range is 1 and the maximum is 15. See, students, if you assume a person cannot exceed per month, he may not sell more than 15 refrigerator. See, here I am talking about a individual salesperson. So that's why here I am taking a range boundary value from 1 to 15. The minimum range is 1 and the maximum range is 15. So the boundary value of a salesperson, of a single salesperson, is 1 is a minimum range and 15 is a maximum range. Yes, understood? Or if I one more example I'll give. Assume that I have a software company. And I don't have any time limit for my employees. But they have to, per day they have to work for 8 hours. They can come midnight in the 12 o'clock. They can come 2 o'clock or early morning 5 o'clock also. They can come. Yes, early morning 5 o'clock also they can come, students. So here the minimum rate, the boundary value of a hour, if you take in a per day, if you take a hour, the boundary value from 1 hour to 24 hours. So within 24 hours, any 8 hours they can work. Yes. Yes, getting? Yes, students? Understanding? Yes, you're understanding how I am taking a boundary value here? Yes, based on the situation, based on the scenario, I'm taking a boundary values. Yes? Benita, understood? Benita. Bhavisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood how I'm taking a boundary value?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So like this, I may ask you any innovative question. A student's case study, like how I gave in the last test, I give some scenario based on the, I'll give some case, based on the case, I'll ask you some questions. In the the material of case study question, last time I have uploaded in GCR. This time I'll upload in GCR as well as in DSpace also. In DSpace also I'll upload the material how I have given in the gave for the first test. So similarly for this test also, the material I will upload in GCR and in DSpace. Yes, students, any doubt? See, don't get confused, students. The simple thing in boundary value is whatever the scenario, whatever the problem we take, the minimum value and the maximum value. See, when we are taking problem by ourselves, then we definitely will be knowing the what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value. Yes, and one more thing, students. Here we have Boolean variables also. We have a Boolean variables also. For Boolean variable, what is the boundary value? Yes, students, for Boolean variable, what is the boundary value? Respond.
0 and 1.
Yes, once again, come again.
0 and 1, ma'am.
I am not understanding what is 0. Yes, correct. 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Or we can say true or false. True or false. Here in the Boolean, you may ask question how, if we, yes, we know the, if you take the example for a date, then the date value will be from 1 to 31. But in some situation, we also take a true or false value. In the true or false value, the Boolean variable will be 0 and 1. 0 means false, 1 means true. Yes, students, like this, you may get a questions in your internals. Yes, students, do you have any doubt in the previous topics? Is any doubt in any doubt in the previous topic, students? Okay, if you don't have any doubt, then I'll move on to the next topic. Yes, students, in last class, we have seen what is the matrix-based testing and we have also seen the test coverage matrix and matrix-based testing. Here in matrix, we have next we have a equivalence class testing. Yes, students, any idea what is equivalence class testing? Yes, this is very important concept in software testing, that is equivalence class testing. See, this equivalence class testing, the use of equivalence class, the use of equivalence classes as a basis for functional testing. It is a basis for functional testing, and it has two motivations. It has two motivations. What are those two motivations? We should like to have a sense of complete testing. Means here, if you use a equivalence testing, we can achieve, or we can achieve a complete testing, and it avoids a redundancy. See, the use of equivalence testing is, or you can also say a motivation of using a equivalence testing is, it gives a complete testing. It gives complete testing, and it avoids a redundancy. It avoids redundancy. Yes, students, I'll give you one example. We use rice at our home. Yes. Yeah, yes, every month, assume that every month a 25 kg packet, we go to a shop and we buy a rice. Yes, we go to a shop, we buy a rice. Then what happens? Assume that every month we go and purchase a bullet rice. So this month, when you go to shop, so this month when you have to purchase a rice, when you go to shop, you don't find that particular rice. Whatever every month we buy, no, that rice is not there in the shop. Then what we do? Then we ask a shopkeeper, or we ask a shop owner, that if that particular rice is not there, then what is the next? Do you have any other alternative? The same quality of rice do we have? Then what he say? Then he say that, yes sir, I have some alternative rice. So assume that this is the rice boxes. So like this, in that shop we have 20 of varieties. Yes, students, 20 of varieties. But every month I purchase a bullet rice. So this month when I go to a shop, I don't have that. I'll ask whether the equal quality, do you have any other rice, other variety of rice which is having a particular quality? Yes, which is having a the rice which is having a quality which is equivalent to the rice which I used to take in the last months. Yes, keltira alva itara? Yes, students, do we ask or not? Respond. Do we ask or not? Yes. Okay, when we ask no, then out of 20 variety, then he will tell 4 to 5 varieties. 4 to 5 varieties. Yes, sir or madam. Yes, these are all the rices we have. I'll name those rices B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. So remaining B5 rices we have. So which is having a similar quality of bullet rice, which are equivalent to bullet rice. Yes, they'll tell no. So they tell, so similar quality of bullet rice I have, that is B1, B2, B4, B5. So next, so what we do is, I'll select, so out of 5 varieties, I'll take a, see students, here what we are doing, here I'm not going to check a complete 20 rices. Here I have 20 varieties of rice. Artha aagta idya how I am relating this topic with this rice shop? Yes, students. Bhavisha?
Yes, ma'am.
You're getting?
Yes, ma'am, I'm getting that.
Yes. Yes, any students, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So here, instead of checking for all the 20 rices, so I ask a shopkeeper, equivalent to this bullet rice, is there any other rices are available? Is there any other rices are available? I'm asking. And so he is telling other 4 to 5 rice varieties are there. So which are equivalent to this bullet rice. So here what I am doing, I am, instead of checking for all the 20 varieties, I'll check only 4 to 5 varieties. Yes, students? I'll check only 4 to 5 varieties. Yes, similarly, here, instead of, here what we do, here complete checking of these 4 to 5 variety qualities we do, and here it is reducing the redundancy. Instead of checking other quality of rice, here only we are checking the only 4 to 5 varieties. Here, are we saving the time? Yes, students, are we saving the time?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And next, one more example I'll give. Yes, students, if you the same example I'll continue. Here I have in a shop, in a rice shop, I have I don't know whether you went to purchase rice or not. There are 2 varieties, raw rice and steam rice. Yes, students, raw rice and steam rice, 2 varieties will be there. For raw rice, out of 20, yes, students, out of 20, 10 are raw rice and 10 are steam rice. Yes. Is the shopkeeper or shop owner putting all the 10 variety shop in the same box? Assume that this is a raw rice. These 10 are steam rice. Yes. 10 steam rice is there, 10 raw rice is there. Yes. So easy putting all these 10 varieties of raw rice in the same box, all of 10 varieties of steam rice in the same box. Yes.
No. No.
No.
Ma'am.
Here what he is doing, he is disjoining and he is making a subset. Though the quality is same, the variety is same raw rice and steamed rice, he is putting in a different boxes. This is nothing but a subsetting. Disjoint ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Here no, he is not joining in a single group. He is disjoining in a different group and he is making a subset. Correct, no, students? He is making subset. Yes, similarly, in the equivalent test also, here in the equivalence class, this equivalence classes, it is a basic, this is a basic for a functional testing. Means this is a, here in equivalence class, we do a functional testing. We do a functional testing and it has 2 motivations. What are those 2 motivations? It has a sense of complete testing and it avoids a redundancy. It avoids a redundancy. And when you come to the equivalence class, in the equivalence class, the importance of equivalence class is they form a partition of a set. Partition refers to a collection of mutually disjoint subset. See, partition means what? See, assume that I have a big hall. 20 by 30 hall. I don't have any partition. I don't have any kitchen. I don't have bathroom. So what I do, I make a partition of 3 by 6 or 3 by 4, and I make a bathroom. And I make 10 by 4, and I make a kitchen in that. So what I'm doing, students, in a unit, in a complete union, I am dividing, I am making a partition. Yes, I am making a partition to make to get a proper utilization of a given space. Yes, correct, no, students? Here I have a big hall. The size of a big hall is 20 by 30. The size of big hall is 20 by 30. But here I don't have facility of kitchen, bathroom. I don't have. So what I do, I make a partition. Yes, am I doing partition here? In this big hall, I am doing a partition for bathroom and kitchen. So yes, here in the equivalence, the importance is it makes a partition. It makes a partition of a set. Partition refers to the collection of mutually disjoint subset, the union of which is the entire set. In the entire set, so it is making a disjoint and it is making a subset. Yes, in the rice example also, what I am doing for the complete set, I am making a, or I'll give one, I can give you one more example, students, in the rice only. So when you take rice, so what I do, I take 10 packets of rice, students. So it may be having some broken rice. Yes, Irutalva. So what I do, I segregate. I make a subset of a broken rice. Yes, I make a subset of broken rice. So I make a set of clean rice. I make a set of semi-clean rice. Yes. Am I doing a partition, students? To the complete set. So what I do, I take a 10 packets of rice and I put it in a container. From there, I try to clean the rice. I clean the rice. What I do, I completely cleaned rice. Completely cleaned rice, I make one packet, and semi-clean rice I make one packet, and a broken rice I make one packet. Yes, so 3 packets I am making. Yes, students, understood? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So the equivalence, this has a two important implication of testing. So this equivalence class has importance of two. It has a two important implications for testing. That is the fact that the entire set is represented provides a form of completeness, and the disjointness to reduce the redundancy, or to ensure it is not to ensure it is a non-redundancy, Yes, students, you see here, you take example of this. Yes, you can see now where I am pointing the mouse pointer. Yes, students. Yes. See, what the second point says is, in equivalence class, it provides a complete disjoint. It provides a disjoint and it ensures the non-redundancy. Yes. Here broken rice, here clean rice. I have segregated. The data to avoid the redundancy. And one more example I'll give, students. See, yes, students, take a table. Take a table. This table so this table is a employee table. This table is an employee table. This table is a employee table. Okay, this is an employee table. So here it contains EID, employee ID, employee name, address, salary. Yes, students, the employee table contains employee ID, employee name, address, and salary. Take one more table. Take one more table, that is transportation table. See, students, this example I discussed. This is the same example I discussed before also. Yes, did I discuss? So here in transport table, I take EID. I take EID. I take gross salary. And I take transport charges. Yes, this is a complete table. Assume that here I have other information. See, whatever the information I need from the employee, all the information is present in this employee table. And this is a transportation table. In this table, only the information is the information which is necessary or which is related for transportation management. Only that information is present in this particular table. In the transport table, EID, gross salary, transportation charge, and the address. Only this information is available. And in some organization, they provide a food also. Then I take one more table, that is food table. So all the employees may not desire to take a food from the food from the organization. So only a few employees they take. See, now if you even we have a college hostel in our college. If you observe, some of the faculties, they go to canteen and they take food there. So in the see here what I am doing, those who want to take food from the college, so their charges will be reduced from the salary only. Their charges will be reduced from the salary. So that's why here I am making a table to segregate who all the employee take food from the college. So employee ID, gross salary and food. Again, the food, yes, here if they are willing to take food and the charges. If they are willing to take, then yes. If they don't want then it will be no. Yes, students, if you observe here, the huge table, the complete table, the entire table, in this table, it has a information it has the information of each employee. It has the information of each employee. Whereas if you see this, the other table here, the second table has the information only about the transport. Those who want to avail the college transport or the organization transport. And the third table contains the information those who want to take food in the college, or those who want to take food from the organization. They have to pay and they have to take. So the details is present here. Here what we are doing, we are segregating, we are partitioning the data. Yes, students, we are partitioning the data, and here it reduces the redundancy. It reduces the redundancy. For again, for transportation also, if I take a same table, for food also, if I take a same table, already all the information is there available in the employee table. Once again, if I take in the transport table a same information, again once again the same this employee information in the for the food tables, again and again if I take, then here the redundancy increases. The redundancy increases. Here if you observe, in each table I have a EID as a common variable. EID as a common variable. So what I do, I make EID employee ID as a primary key in the first table, and here in the other tables I make that as a foreign key. I make that as a foreign key or a reference key. So here in the other table you can refer the foreign key. Yes, students, here we are doing the partitioning of our data, and here we are reducing the redundancy. Yes. So students, we have different types of equivalence class testing. So the weak normal class testing and strong normal equivalence class testing. So this I'll do it in the next class, students. This I'll do it in the next class. Yes, students, you understood case study and innovative questions? Yes, students, understood case study and innovative questions? Any doubt in case study and innovative questions?
No, ma'am.
Yes, students, you know the test dates, no? You all know the test dates? 5, 6, 7 is your second internals.
Okay, ma'am.
5, 6, 7 is the your second internals date. Yes, students, till tomorrow, whatever the topics I cover, that will be there for your test. Till tomorrow. ನಾಳೆವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಏನೇನು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Students, answer your attendance. Asta?
Present, ma'am.
Abhinav?
Present, ma'am.
Abhinav, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Aishwarya?
Present, ma'am.
Ambrish?
Yes, ma'am.
Anu?
Present, ma'am.
Arbaz? Arjun?
Present, ma'am.
Arjun, any doubt, Arjun?
No, ma'am.
Ashok?
Present, ma'am.
Yes, Arjun, I'm asking about case study and innovative question. Do you have any doubt in case study and innovative?
No, ma'am.
No. Ashok? Ashok?
Present, ma'am.
Benita?
Present, ma'am.
Bhargavi? Bhargavi? Bhargavi absent? Bhavisha?
Present, ma'am.
Chaitra?
Present, ma'am.
Dev?
Present, ma'am.
Diksha?
Present, ma'am.
Deepika L?
Present, ma'am.
Deepika M?
Present, ma'am.
Murli?
Present, ma'am.
Gangubai?
Present, ma'am.
Gudia?
Present, ma'am.
Harshit?
Present, ma'am.
Singh?
Present, ma'am.
Kavya?
Present, ma'am.
Kishore? Kishore? Kishore absent? Lata?
Yes, ma'am.
Manisha?
Present, ma'am.
Manjunath?
Yes, ma'am.
Nayana?
Present, ma'am.
Nilanjan? Nilanjan? Nishant?
Present, ma'am.
Pavitra?
Present, ma'am.
Maithili?
Present, ma'am.
Priyanka?
Present, ma'am.
Pavan?
Present, ma'am.
Akash?
Present, ma'am.
Rajeshwari? Rakesh?
Present, ma'am.
Ramya?
Present, ma'am.
Rashmi?
Present, ma'am.
Ravi Shankar?
Yes, ma'am.
Rizwan?
Present, ma'am.
Vishal?
Present, ma'am.
Savita?
Yes, ma'am.
Shruti?
Present, ma'am.
Sneha?
Yes, ma'am.
Spurti?
Present, ma'am.
Srinidhi?
Present, ma'am.
Srinivas?
Present, ma'am.
Vaishnavi?
Present, ma'am.
Sunil? Sunil?
Winnie, present, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Sunil?
Vaishnavi, present, ma'am.
Sunil? Yes, students, any doubt in case study and innovative questions? And student, I shared you whether you checked the GCR. I shared you assignment questions of first assignment and second assignment. Only four questions I gave. And 1st November, I gave the deadline. I think yesterday morning I shared. Yes, students, if you have any doubt in those questions, you can, or else I'll show you once, whatever the questions I gave you. Yes, students, can you see the screen? The first question is demonstrate testing and debugging process with an example. Yes, first internals you all have written. So, yes, out of these questions, any doubt you have? Any doubt you have? And submit on or before 1st November, students. And syllabus for your test is second test is till tomorrow, whatever the topics I cover. So that will be there for your test. till tomorrow, whatever. Yes, students, in the GCR, I'll share the PPTs of module 2, module 3, and module 4. The PPTs I'll share, and the book, the soft copy of the book is I have already shared in the GCR. Soft copy.